Welcome to the Value Maker podcast. My name is Orion Purvis. I'm your host, supported by Heather Bicknell, as we meet with the people that make the digital workspace work. It's about the technology, it's about improving people's work experience and finding the return on value. Heather, how are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm cold. It's the start of autumn/winter here, so cold start.
How do you
I
feel
need to
about
put.
this season?
I'm not excited for it. We had a lot of rain as well, and my log cabin is not as warm as I'd hoped it would be. So I'm gonna have to get the heater in here.
Right.
But it's okay. It's okay. How things with you?
Good. I'll actually be over in Ireland next week, so I'll get to enjoy this lovely weather that you are experiencing or something similar to it.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So yeah, I'm doing a little work trip and then I'll be off the following week in Rome,
Oh,
um,
lovely.
which I was there 17 years ago. It's been a minute. So I think lots will change, which is exciting. It's interesting. There's a lot of, you know, sites that were being excavated when I was there last that I could tour now. So
Yeah.
excited to see how things have changed.
And we haven't done Rome in a long time. We're going to go off to France next week for a couple of days, just a quick trip. Go see the Olympic decoration that is still up and take the kids to go see Eiffel Tower and that sort of stuff. So looking forward to that.
That should be fun. Hopefully, yeah, you'll get the post-Olympic and Paralympic, maybe quiet time from a tourism perspective. Maybe
Well,
not.
that's what, yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Is we'll see some of there's a Lego bus that's been built specifically for the Olympics, and the decorations should be up for another month or two. So hopefully get some of that. I don't know how long they leave decorations up for. Olympic rings on the Eiffel Tower might still be up. And yeah, a couple of those things would be nice to get.
Very cool. Maybe you'll see the hot air balloon. That was a cool feature of the torch.
Oh yes, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what we're actually going to see. I didn't really watch much of the Olympics, so
Oh,
actually didn't
really?
see a
They
lot of
were a
things. Yeah.
good one. Actually need to cancel our YouTube TV. We got it to watch the
Yeah, yeah.
Olympics and the Paralympics, but it's so expensive. It's just not worth it. But
How
anyway,
much is it now? When I last it was like $30 a month or something.
it's more. It's more. I can't remember. But yeah, if it's like 50 or 60, it's whatever it is, I'm unwilling to pay really more than anything above $10. Like the rest of them are much lower than that. So it's just
Yeah,
all when you add them
it's
together.
it's exactly that. It's so interesting because my son has figured out how to watch on Amazon Prime. He uses my profile to watch stuff. Now, what Amazon does is we have Prime, which obviously brings you a whole bunch of stuff, content as part of your deal. But he figured out that what my PIN code was, and he would go and pick a show that he likes, and he's really into ships and shipwrecks and all that stuff. And he would go and subscribe to all these services. So every so often I get this £3 or whatever the dollar equivalent is, $4 subscription to some weird channel. And it took me a while to figure it out. Because I thought, well, maybe it was me, maybe I just clicked on something and subscribed to it, not realizing that when I watched this interesting thing, it was actually subscribing me. It was him. And, I was just looking, so we don't pay for Prime because we get that through our gym health provider, Vitality. So that's like $80 a year I don't pay. Then I pay for Disney $50 a year. But if you buy Disney tickets in any year, they give you Disney for free for a year. Apple I pay for as part of subscription. And I do that whole Apple One subscription where you get everything. And then you got Netflix. And Netflix has climbed up. I actually hadn't realized what I was paying. I'm paying like $20 a month for it now.
Mm.
So when you start adding them all up, you're like, it's not a lot of money. Like, this is a really first world problem if you think about it. And the kids, we watch a lot of Amazon Prime, watch a lot of Disney, watch a lot of Netflix. So we definitely get our pound of flesh out in the shows. I'm rewatching NCIS at the moment all on Disney, and I'm very happy to pay my $50 a year to get access to the TV show. But when you think about it, like moving away from I had a DVD collection of 500 DVDs before we left South Africa. And I sold those DVDs and all of those DVDs sold. I was able to buy a plane ticket to the UK. I don't know if I've told you this story.
Mm-mm.
So we were literally moving here 12 years ago. And obviously when you move, you're not going to care. I wasn't going to move all our furniture. Like a lot of people move their stuff. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. So I went and sold all my DVDs and they basically gave me about 8,000 Rand. Now, 8,000 Rand was the price of my plane ticket to the UK
Wow.
with Emirates. So I always joke about how my DVDs paid my plane ticket. If I went and sold the equivalent DVDs today, I'd be lucky with 500 DVDs to get £100.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll walk into the secondhand shop. Like I bought Battlestar Galactica. So this box set would have cost me, well, you can't see this, the camera.
Is it the newer one?
I don't know. Or whatever, whichever one this is. I paid £12
Yes,
for
yes.
this.
Such a great series.
This was my birthday. Oh yes, the newer Rico. This was my birthday Christmas present to myself. And so I paid $12 for that. I would have probably paid, if I bought it back in South Africa in equivalent pound terms, like 50 or $60 for it.
Yeah.
That's how expensive that stuff was. And I mean, it's amazing how that technology has pretty much just died. I mean, you might go to the odd hotel or the odd place where they'll say, here's a DVD player and you can watch movies from our library, but everything's a streaming service of some sort. I mean, we were in Turkey 2 weeks ago, and you could basically set up your Netflix or Amazon Prime on the TVs and then just watch because, that's what everyone wants, and
Yeah.
but now you get the problem with Netflix where it says, oh, well, you're not traveling away from your destination. Or and you have to, I had to temporarily approve myself to use my own subscription in the hotel in Turkey. So for the week, and you only get like a limit of like a month, I think, or 21 days or something ridiculous. But the point I was trying to get to through all that whole story is that the subscription costs can really get you, and you've got to keep looking at them and canceling ones you don't need. So I signed up like you for the Olympics thing, but I remembered to cancel it. Whereas like YouTube, for example, which I also happily pay for, I hadn't realized that I'd paid for the family edition, and I'm the only one who watches YouTube. So, I was paying, double or triple or whatever. I mean, it's again, a lot of money, but it's like 4 cups of coffee a month that you're not
Get that
spending.
5,000 cups thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's quite funny how generationally it's different. So like my in-laws have been here and we don't watch normal TV, right? So that's why I was kind of laughing at the YouTube TV thing. Because I remember going to see Lakeside in Ann Arbor, and I stayed there at the DoubleTree, and I was watching the World Series, and it was on YouTube TV, and it was like $30 a month. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I would happily pay $30 a month for YouTube TV, like to get, because it had all the channels and the rest of it, and we couldn't get in the UK. And now you're saying it's like 60 and you won't pay it. I'm like thinking, 60 is heavy. Like that's a lot of money. Like that has to really give you a huge amount of value. And the thing is about all these subscriptions, and this is the other side of the point, there's so much content to watch. Like you're paying all this money. You could never watch all this content. Like if you watched all day, every day, you could never watch it. So it's really got to be high value for you.
Yeah. And, if you could just decide, I'm going to watch this series instead because it's already on X streaming service. I have.
Yeah. Well,
Might make those trade-offs.
I look at Paramount. So we pay for Paramount through Amazon because it's all the Star Treks and it's Patrol. But I canceled it this month because the kids watch the same Paw Patrols over and over again, and they're all on Netflix. And the only Paw Patrols they watch on Amazon are the 2 movies. So I was like, why am I paying for Paramount or for the Star Trek? Because what I'll do is I won't watch the Star Treks, because what they do on Paramount, like in the old days, is you'd only get to watch the episode every week. So you have to wait each week to get the episode. And I think we're so conditioned to binge that I don't want to watch the series that way because I can't remember what happened last week. Much like I'm rewatching NCIS, as I say, I'm literally watching episodes throughout the day and the night. So it keeps the story together for you. And it's actually such a pleasant way to watch because those arcs that happen each week now are consistent. And you can watch, I don't watch a whole season in a week. In fact, I was telling you about 3 books that I just read. They're really good. But because you're binging them, arcs actually make a lot more sense than when you watch them week by week. And so I'll wait till that. So for me, like with Paramount, I'll just wait till all the stuff's done and then I'll go back and watch the whole season.
Mm-hmm. You're watching the newer Trek right now?
Yeah, New Worlds. I haven't watched this new season, and I didn't even watch season 5 of Discovery. So Discovery is only on Netflix. It's not on Paramount.
Oh, interesting.
And the other one, New Worlds, is only on Paramount. So I'm just waiting till like, till I know if the season's like, if I look at like watching Deep Space Nine or original series or Next Generation, those are always ones that they would show you episode by episode and you'd watch them on the Sci-Fi Channel or wherever you're watching it. But I only really got into them when I could binge them, when you knew that the thing was finished. So I kind of wait now for it to be said that they're finished, and then I'll go watch the whole thing. But it kind of makes more sense. You know what's going on, and you're in the zone with it, and you
Yeah.
remember all the characters, and you're either in love with them or you're not in love with them. Same as Stargate, all those.
Tell me about these books that you've been reading.
Yeah, so I interviewed Ben Johnson a couple of weeks ago, and we started talking about Daniel Soros as an author. So I started reading Daniel Soros' books again. So he's written a lot of books, probably, I want to say a dozen, close to a dozen. The first one, Demon, and its second book was called Freedom. And then the third book, which is not related, is called Influx. And if you're looking for a science fiction author that writes, I want to call hard science fiction, so it's legitimately real, could actually be happening, he's a really good author to read. So Damon was about a game designer who dies and leaves behind a Damon, I don't want to say conscious AI, but a simple AI. Well, let's say it was smart enough to do a whole lot of stuff, but not a sentient AI. And across two books, he did a brilliant job of really creating this interwoven adventure that had a really good conclusion. Phenomenal books. I mean, to give you an idea, they're 500-page books, and I've read them all in like a week. I was up at 3:00 this morning finishing like the third book because I just couldn't sleep till I finished the book. So those I'd highly recommend them. We'll put links to them. And then the other book, which I finished this morning, is called Influx, which was all about gravity waves and gravity mirrors. And it's just so cleverly conceived. I mean, I've never, like I was actually, I finished the book this morning and I was making myself breakfast and I suddenly thought, I'm really sad the book's over because I was so into it. I was like, why can't we have this technology? Because everything changes with gravity control. You don't need aircrafts. You don't need planes. You don't need cars. You don't need boats. You could just float everywhere and you can move whole structures, just lift them, move them because you control gravity. Because think about what holds any weighted object to the earth. It's gravity. And if you could reverse gravity, you could lift anything. But obviously your power constraints or your power availability constrains your ability to move something, but so well written. So there was a whole bunch of books on sale. So I bought all of them on sale. So I'm literally plowing through them at the moment. And you send me a link on the AR sunglasses or AR glasses. And some of those, sorry, go ahead.
The Meta Orion glasses. Yeah.
And some of those, like those concepts are in the books. So he's really like got the thing lined up on that stuff. So it's, if you're into those books, those kind of books, it's very much like, do you remember Tal Klein?
Yeah. Of course.
He wrote, I actually gave it to my wife to read.
Bookshelf somewhere.
Yeah. Same sort of stuff. Man, it's going to look it up.
Let me find his Twitter. I'll find it.
Let's actually find out what Klein's up to. Something.
He's at VMware.
That's a bit of VMware now.
Yeah. Punch Escrow.
That's Punch Escrow.
The printing teleportation.
Yes, that's
concept. Right. Yeah. And it was hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
He had the kind of encyclopedic descriptions for everything and like told you the real science of things as you read the book.
Yeah. So what did you think of the glasses?
Yeah, I thought interesting. Is there something interesting there? So I guess for just a quick rundown of the Orions, they're new sort of experimental VR glasses, essentially from Meta. And the special part about them is that the lens is what you can, it's a normal pair. It's like a VR headset, but in glasses, the lens is what you can see through to see interact with the VR. And I guess they're not doing them commercially because they were just too expensive to produce, but they're using some of the technology that's built into, I know, the Ray-Bans that you have as well. And that I guess have been a little bit of a surprise commercial success for them. Because I think a lot of we've seen a lot of glasses, right, over the last decade. Or I don't know, when did Google Glass come out? That might have been longer than a decade.
Yeah,
like
that's a long time ago.
a long time ago. But I guess Zuckerberg's play here is that, glasses are the new or the smartphone of the future, I guess, not the new, but it's very like forward looking language and how he describes it as well. So I don't know, I thought it was interesting. And then I wanted to get your take as a Ray-Bans, a Meta
Well,
Ray-Bans wearer, if you could see them replacing a
well,
handheld.
yes, I can. So my wife has already adopted a pair, which to me is a pretty good sign. That I don't have to help her to use them is a good sign. Not that she's a complete Luddite, but she's using them. She's enjoying them. She wears them all the time. She's exactly like me. Like they're the only glasses we care about. So I could definitely see it being a wearable. That's not a phone. I mean, if I could, for example, reading these books would be great if I could actually have the text on the glass while I'm walking somewhere and carry reading the book. Well, because I mean, audiobooks are fine, but I like to read. Uh, So it would be great. And so to have some sort of AR capability would be amazing. And I think the thing that I don't like about phones is they're very antisocial. Now, the glasses probably would also be a little bit antisocial because they can be. I'll have the glasses on and some people will be playing and then someone's talking, like I was on a phone call and someone was trying to talk to you and I'm like, yeah, I'm actually on a phone call because I don't have the earpods on. They
Mhm.
don't realize it. But what the reason why I say phone's antisocial is because in order to look at your phone, you have to look at your phone. You have to look down or bring your phone up. So you're blocking the way. Whereas glasses, people are kind of used to talking to somebody with glasses on. And the mistake that we both made when we bought our sunglasses is we didn't buy the glasses with the changeable lenses. They don't change darkness
The
and lightness.
transition,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now I thought we had bought, both of us thought we bought the lenses like that, but we obviously haven't. So those things aside, I like the idea of a wearable that is less engrossing, but still gives you the same capabilities. So the ability to do phone calls, the abilities to interact with, often you need to look for some piece of information and like directions or opening, closing times or research something very quickly. But I think the problem you're going to have is if you don't have an input device that is something you can type on, you'd have to rely on voice. So I think we're a few years away, I would say probably from something that's useful, but I'm not saying decades away. I would probably see it. I would say we'd
Mhm.
see it in the next 5 years. Just judging from how good these Meta ones are, because it already has voice capabilities, but it's not on the edge. It's all going back to the cloud. So if you like I was in Turkey, I used up a lot of data just using my headphones because not so much using the Meta headphones, but I was listening to music and watching movies and whatever. And because the Wi-Fi in the hotel was so bad, I couldn't download stuff, so I had to use my 4G. And because of traveling, as I mentioned to you, the Netflix and whatever, I couldn't get to. You can't get to Disney without a VPN. I couldn't get the VPN to work in the hotel. They might have blocked VPNs. So it's just those little things. But I think for a lot of people, something, and you're wearing glasses now, that if the weight is right and you don't have to be sitting down in front of a screen like we are now in front of laptops and desktops, but you can get that key information just in the peripheral of your screen, and I think there's got to be a level of, I don't want to see every text message for me personally, but a key
Yeah.
indicator like turn left here, turn right here, phone call from this person, that you don't have to have your phone ring, for example, because I find that there's so many things. I find that the ringing of a telephone irritating, but if it rings on my watch and I know someone's phoning me and then and I wear my AirPods, I get told he's phoning me. That's useful to me because then I'm like, yeah, I'll take the call. Or I'm busy running right now. I'm not going to take this call because I know it's not urgent. So I think having
Yeah.
visual indicators would be good. I love the idea, as you can
I
hear.
think they spent, I want to say it was like 40 billion in the last, lots of money, billions of dollars in the last few years developing this technology. So it's impressive. And then some of the use cases that stuck out to me, I guess this language one, there's a few different ways we're doing this nowadays, but I think it can translate between 4 different languages. It's like English, Spanish, French, and Italian. So that's interesting. Although you need two
When
people
they're
to be
not,
wearing it to get that full benefit.
yeah, I would expect that. I mean, the idea with the AirPods is we're supposed to get the same capability at some point. I haven't seen that come through
Oh,
yet. That was one of the things that you would be using. Instead of having hearing aids, you'd have AirPods. And then instead of having a translator, you would use the AirPods would do it on the fly. And that could also happen relatively quickly. I mean, if you think about it, that's a software problem. That's not a hardware problem. The
Yeah.
AirPods work. They've got the earphone mechanism already, and they've already got the noise cancelling and outside in. So I think that's close. When they nail Arabic and they nail Mandarin for translation, then you'll see those things fly. But the other ones are fairly, I don't want to say not important, but the real tough ones are Arabic and Mandarin.
Yeah. And then the other use case, are you familiar with the app Be My Eyes? It's
No, never
something
heard of it.
that's for the blind or, visual impairments, but it's an app where you can actually sign up sort of as a volunteer. And if someone needs you to read the ingredients on a package or, do something, they're, alone and they need someone who can see to help them with some task. You can sign up and you can do that. So it's kind of like, I'm not exactly sure what the experience is, but I think like a little video call and it's like you're a task rabbit kind of, but for and what I thought was cool about the Orion glasses is they are partnering with them. So you imagine someone who, is blind and has been using an app like that, which is great, but can now with, the AI does that for them, right? So using Meta AI and the glasses to kind of essentially replicate that experience, I thought was cool. I think what criticism I saw of these is like Meta spending billions of dollars and it's like what problems are being solved. I guess that's maybe one of the questions to ask about, you know, the next horizon of, whether they're, societal or just user experience things, but it's like a device in search of a problem, I think in some,
Um,
ways of
well,
looking at it.
that was the problem with the Google glasses as well.
Yeah.
Is it was so early, and I think that's where for me the Ray-Bans have really hit the mark so well because like my wife thought it was a gimmick until she saw me taking photos all the time and video and all the rest of it. My kids love it because they like my daughter will say to me, "Daddy, take a picture," because she
Mhm.
knows. Like it's not the phone, it's the glasses. So she sees the glasses, take a picture, take a video. So from their point of view as kids, they're like, my dad's not looking at his phone, he's looking at me. So if you take a picture with your phone, you're obviously looking at your phone.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of use case has solved itself. Now, I can, I mean, there's plenty of people smarter than me who point out some very obvious use cases of having glasses with information on them. I mean, as I just said, directions while you're driving, but what about directions when you're looking at an object? How do I use this mechanism in front of me? How do I, from a safety point of view, how do I dismantle this or address this mechanical thing before I work on it? So image recognition and snags and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's dozens of use cases. I think the problem really for me is how much compute can you put on the edge
Yeah.
and how much battery power can you provide? I mean, these glasses don't last very long. I mean, I played golf with them. I played golf with them a couple of times, and I take, for example, I run the video while I hit a golf shot, and then I take pictures of the holes that I'm on and whatever. So I use them throughout the game. And we only play, in the UK, because the courses are quite small. With a golf cart, you can get around in like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So that battery is not lasting. Like by the time I get to 3 hours, that battery, that the glasses are saying, we're out of things. So I have to keep charging them throughout the
Yeah.
course. But that would be no different to, going with your tablet and doing an inspection and filling in information. You'd burn the battery on the tablet as you take video and pictures and for audio recordings, etc. You wouldn't get the full 10 hours out of them either, but they're also a bigger device and more battery to pack in. So, I think it's good. I think people have to push this. I just think there's a lot of value in it. Would you pay $1,000 for a phone? Would you pay $1,000 for an AR headset set of glasses? I think maybe the question.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Oh.
that enamored with I wasn't that enamored with the
Mhm.
Apple glasses when I saw them to pay 3.5 grand for them as a comparison.
Mhm. I haven't heard anyone talking about the Vision Pro. That struck
Yeah.
me as I was reading this article about the Orion glasses. Well, interesting stuff, and we'll keep checking back in on the progress
Well,
of your oh, go ahead.
just on that Vision Pro, I mean, the Vision Pro battery pack,
Yeah.
it's not enormous, but it's not small either. That's a good weight. I don't know what
Yeah.
the weight is, but you feel it. And those glasses are, I mean, they're beautiful. And then as Apple would do, it's all magnificent and looks great and whatever it is. But you would have serious neck pain using those
And
things
I
all the
and
time.
I think you're right with the, device in front of the face. I was at a concert recently and, thinking about something like the Orions where you could still be immersed in the experience, but you're not. It's kind of annoying to see everyone with their phone in front of their face at events like that. At least I don't know. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but it bothers me a little bit. I'm like, just enjoy the moment. Well, enjoy your trip to Paris
Thank
and
you.
hope it's a lot of fun and we'll connect after.
Sounds good. Super. Thanks, Heather.
Alrighty.
Chat to you later. Cheers, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to our episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share it with your friends and colleagues. Help us grow our network. Please also check out our website at www.value.work and our product that's on there. It's something we worked really hard on and we hope that it benefits you.